I'm continuing my reading. What I'm doing in this series is read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I'm reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around just a little bit as I move along. Right now, I am continuing in the Book of Judges. This is chapter 6. Israel is in bondage to Midianites. An angel appears to Gideon and calls him to deliver Israel. He overthrows altar of Baal. The Spirit of the Lord rests upon him, and the Lord gives him a sign to show he is called to deliver Israel. The Judges are just full of great little stories. Short episodes that are just fantastic. I love Gideon too. Here we go. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord. And the Lord delivered them into the hand of Midian 7 years. And the hand of Midian prevailed against Israel, and because of the Midianites, the children of Israel made them the dens which are in the mountains, and caves, and strongholds. And so it was, when Israel had sown, that the Midianites came up, and the Amalekites, and the children of the east, even they came up against them. And they encamped against them, and destroyed the increase of the earth, till thou come unto Gaza, and left no substance for Israel, neither sheep, nor ox, nor ass. For they came up with their cattle and their tents, and they came as grasshoppers for multitude. For both they and their camels were without number, and they entered into the land to destroy it. And Israel was greatly impoverished because of the Midianites, and the children of Israel cried unto the Lord. So this before, when Moab came in, they more made Israel a vassal state. They kind of conquered and made them pay tribute. The Canaanites were living among the Israelites, and they kind of did the same thing. They made them, they conquered them or oppressed them. The Midianites are from the southeast, so they're coming up in, and they're invading and taking over the land. They're not just They're not just making him a vassal state like Moab did. And they're coming from outside of the area of Canaan, unlike the Canaanites. So this is a new type of invasion. However, the children of the east, we are given a footnote in Genesis chapter 25. So I want to flip back to that real quick, because I think now we're talking about the Ammonites, but I'm not positive, and I want to see what this footnote says. Verse 6. Interesting. So the children of the east, I know I didn't read it. It's talking about the footnotes. Genesis chapter 25, verse 6 is talking about the other children of Abraham. We don't hear about the other. We know the Ishmaelites, and we know the descendants of Isaac are Edom and Israel. And then there's the Midianites. But what about the other 6 sons or the other 5 sons of Abraham? Apparently, the children of the east that is mentioned here is talking about the descendants of Abraham's other sons, although not giving them specific national names. So you have the Midianites, and then you have Edom. And this is saying that Israel was chased to live in the caves and the mountains, and all their crops were destroyed, all their animals were taken. This is a complete conquest of the land. But, okay, verse 7. And it came to pass, when the children of Israel cried unto the Lord because of the Midianites, that the Lord sent a prophet unto the children of Israel, which said unto them, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, I brought you up from Egypt, and brought you forth out of the house of bondage. And I delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of all that oppressed you, and drave them out from before you, and gave you their land. And I said unto you, I am the Lord your God. Fear not the gods of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell, but ye have not obeyed my voice. Now, we are not told who this prophet is, or was, just a prophet. But this tells us very clearly that there were still prophets in Israel during the time of the Judges. Some people think that Samuel is the first prophet, or after Moses we had Joshua, and then we don't have any prophets until Samuel. But that's not true. God has always had prophets, and this tells us that there was a prophet in Israel. So, and the Israelites are all sad and oppressed and say, God, why are you doing this to us? And the prophet comes and says, look, I gave you all this land and you didn't obey my law, so deal with it. Basically is what he's saying. But let us continue. Verse 11. And there came an angel of the Lord and sat under an oak which was in Ophrah, that pertained unto Joash the Abiezrite, and his son Gideon threshed wheat by the winepress to hide it from the Midianites. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him, and said unto him, The Lord is with thee, thou mighty man of valor. And Gideon said unto him, O my Lord, if the Lord be with us, why then is all this befallen us? And where be all his miracles which our fathers told us of, saying, Did not the Lord bring us up from Egypt? But now the Lord has forsaken us, and delivered us into the hands of the Midianites. And the Lord looked upon him, and said, Go in this thy might, and thou shalt save Israel from the hand of the Midianites. Have not I sent thee? So an angel appears to Gideon and kind of salutes him with the praise, thou mighty man of valor. And Gideon's like, oh, wait a minute. You know, where's all these miracles? God's supposed to be protecting us, but he's forsaken us. Where are all the great miracles that we have been told about all our lives? And the angel says, well, we're going to have some because I'm sending you to do it. But I like Gideon's response is just, he is not sure about himself or about what's going on. So, verse 15, and he said unto him, O my Lord, wherewith shall I save Israel? Behold, my family is poor in Manasseh, and I am the least in my father's house. And the Lord said unto him, Surely I will be with thee, and thou shalt smite the Midianites as one man. And he said unto him, If now I have found grace in thy sight, then shew me a sign that thou talkest with me. Depart not hence, I pray thee, until I come unto thee, and bring forth my present, and set it before thee. And he said, I will tarry until thou come again. So he tells him, you're going to free Israel from Midian. And Gideon's like, okay, why me? I'm a low family. Says he's from Manasseh, so it gives us some indication of where this is taking place. But he then says, let me put up a sign. So let me go and get a present and bring it to you. Let me look up something here. Nope, not there. And the angel says, okay. So, but I want to see where Ophrah was. Let me see if I can find this in the maps. Nope, it's not in the Bible dictionary. Don't see it in the maps. But he says he's from Manasseh. We know Manasseh had the two sections. One on the west side, right in the center, just north of Ephraim and Dan. And then they had the east side in the north. So, not sure which side he's on. Maybe we'll get more clues as we read along. Here we go, verse 19. And Gideon went in and made ready a kid, and unleavened cakes of an ephah of flour. The flesh he put in a basket, and he put the broth in a pot, and brought it out unto him under the oak, and presented it. And the angel of God said unto him, Take the flesh and the unleavened cakes, and lay them upon this rock, and pour out the broth. And he did so. And the angel of the Lord put forth the end of the staff that was in his hand, and touched the flesh and the unleavened cakes. And there rose up fire out of the rock, and consumed the flesh and the unleavened cakes. Then the angel of the Lord departed out of his sight. And when Gideon perceived that he was an angel of the Lord, Gideon said, Alas, O Lord God, for because I have seen an angel of the Lord face to face. And the Lord said unto him, Peace be unto thee, fear not, thou shalt not die. Then Gideon built an altar there unto the Lord, and called it Jehovah Shalom. Unto this day it is yet in Ophrah of the Abiezrites. Technical difficulties. So what's going on here? But basically what he did was he brought out a offering, a sacrifice. Now it wasn't a normal sacrifice that the priest would make, but he brought out the cakes and he brought out the meat. He had cooked it, and he brought it out and offered it to the angel. And the angel said, put it on the rock, and then he kind of lit the rock on fire as a sign that he was an angel of God. And then Gideon got all scared. So, whoa, this really is an angel. I've seen an angel. God's going to, and it was a fairly common thing back in for people when they're in times of trouble, times of oppression, times of great trial. They think that they see an angel, they're going to get killed. They're going to die for seeing an angel. But God reassures them, no, don't worry about it. And this time, the first time the angel talked to him, when the angel left, he got worried. And he heard the voice of God himself saying, no, you're good. And so he builds an altar here. Now, I do want to go back just briefly. It said he was threshing by the winepress to hide it from the Midianites. In other words, as I said earlier, the Midianites were taking all the food, all the animals, all the grains, all the crops. And so in order to preserve some for his family, he was hiding it. Instead of threshing it in the threshing floor, he was taking it to the winepress to winnow it, to thresh it, because they wouldn't look there, we'll say. This is a bit of a long chapter, so we're going to leave it here, and we will get back to this chapter in the next video.